Hey there. I've put some messages in the chat box because there are some podcast episodes I've done on the mind body connection, episode number 155, and I wanted to address the mind body connection and the subconscious things that keep us from moving forward and can get in the way of our kids being able to get better. And our children also have gone through a lot, even by the time they're a teenager. All of the things that they've had, the poking, the prodding, the therapists, the appointments. I remember my son feeling like, is something wrong with me? And I said, no, it's not wrong. It's just that you're struggling with some things, and I want to help you to be able to move forward in life more easily. You're uncomfortable, your body is hurting. And so anyway, these things were in the way of him being his true self. And also the subconscious mind can also, any of us, anything that's happened since childhood, we carry with us that make us think, have a stigma behind us of why some people, why can't I make more money than I'm making? I'm always broke. Well, if you say you're always broke, you're bringing more of that into your life, right? If why won't my child get well, and your constant worry is bringing more of that energy about keeping them being ill. They have subconscious beliefs about something's wrong with them, or nobody likes me. That was a big one too, the self-esteem issue. What's wrong with me? Why don't I have friends? Nobody wants to be my friend. All of that, it's really quite sad, and it can be cleared. They are just underlying emotional components to the subconscious mind that create the beliefs that we live our lives through. 99% of our current conscious life, or of our current life, is driven by our subconscious beliefs. And these can be things, again, that happen in childhood that you may not even really be aware of, or you remember an episode or something happened and you think, well, I've worked through that, I've gotten through it. But it could be why you're not moving forward, why you have trouble getting through challenges, why why certain things are happening over and over, and you see patterns happening in your life. And this is something I wanted to address today because I've done, again, some podcast episodes, and I've linked to several of them in one episode so that will kind of start the conversation larger. It's naturallyrecoveringautism.com/155, and I've put it in the show notes. It's episode number 155, and it's about clearing those subconscious emotions. I've also interviewed people like Dr. Bradley Nelson on the emotion code, which is a very, very simple and easy technique to do either yourself on your own behalf or for your child, that you can learn how to do. You can do it on their behalf. It can be done virtually with an expert, and I link to the emotion code episodes. You can learn more about it. But it's a way to clear those subconscious emotions that keep us ill or prevent us from moving forward, or keeping us stuck in the same bad patterns that we can't seem to get out of. And we think, why not? Why does this keep happening? I thought I'd work through this. Or you just didn't even realize anything was something you could work through. And so these are things I want to help you with, because somebody said, well, what about all of the things our kids go through? There's a whole psychological component. And especially when we work with Lyme disease and some of the underlying co-infections, it's really important to know that they actually can improve and get better faster if we have cleared a lot of the subconscious emotions. I also did another episode with Dr. Bradley Nelson on clearing something called a heart wall. And he said 100% of kids with autism have heart walls. In his experience, what he has found in his decades of doing the work of clearing these subconscious emotions. And a heart wall is something that needs to be cleared too, because it's something that is built by our subconscious mind. We develop it to protect ourselves from fears, from worries, from being hurt, all of this. And so when they're there, we have this protective heart wall, and it prevents us from receiving as much love as giving as much as we have. It blocks us. It is our innate intelligence's way of protecting us, just as the subconscious is. But these things can get in the way. So these heart walls can very, very easily be cleared as well. But they have a lot to do with that self-esteem and subconscious issue. or issues, many of them. And this may be new information to you too, but some of it we can even be born into in this life with in the DNA, and so it can be passed from generation to generation. We might also have heard other family members talk about, old, grandpa's, was always broke, and we were always broke growing up, and now we're always broke, and you might kind of just hear those patterns too, or um, somebody was always sick, or they could never get ahead in they tried getting ahead and changing things from the way that they were, and they just always got stuck, and you might feel like you're stuck in a pattern. Well, these things again carry through. So my podcast episode 155 will help start bringing your awareness and knowledge about these subconscious emotions, and then I link to some of these other things that I just mentioned as well. I also include in that something on tapping. You've probably heard about tapping. It was used even in the Sandy Hook incidents, the shootings at the elementary school for the parents. Tapping was something that the psychologists, some of them who knew it, were working with to help clear and help the parents of the children that were killed in that event. And so it's very, very effective. And I did a tapping episode as well, podcast episode, and I also linked to it in that same show notes. In number 155. But tapping is a way that we can tap on different parts of the body. And by doing it, we are stimulating acupressure points that stimulate into the subconscious. And so we can think different things as we're doing it, whether it's something we want to get rid of that we're thinking of, or something we want to build into a positive statement. So positive mindset is very, very important in your success with your child with autism and in their success in life. And so these are all things to really be aware of, because we don't want our kids to go through life thinking that something's wrong with them, or nobody likes me, or I'm always sick, or I'm always a pain or a problem for other people, or my parents got divorced because of me. I heard an adult man with autism say that once, and I thought, it's not your fault your parents divorced. They had a lot of pressure and stress under them, and they divorced for their own reasons because they were having a hard time. It is not your fault. And so, but this is something this man carried around with him. And so it's really important to know this work. And I also have a whole page on stress reduction, calming sensory issues, and stress reduction techniques that I have small, short video tutorials about, and more information on them as an entire page in my membership site, because this does need to be addressed. There are even professionals and people that you can hire to do it online virtually, which is nice, because then you don't have to travel and go to appointments, and your child doesn't have to actively participate, because they may not be able or willing to do that. But it can be done, in, like, via proxy and virtually this way. So you can learn more about it from going to that episode I mentioned, and the links are all there to others. And I even demonstrate tapping as well in the tapping one, and talk more about it and the points, give you the points. So you can start doing it and seeing if you notice some things and changes for yourself. But I highly recommend it because, again, for you, you're going through a lot. There are a lot of challenges as being a parent with autism. And it's so important that you know to address these at all levels, conscious and subconscious. And the fear and the worry that we live with and the stress can be very, very impactful on our lives. And we want to stay healthy. We want to be the best we can be for ourselves and for our kids, because we also want to be available and be our best for as long as we can, to be here with them, and help them again to clear these things from their selves and their subconscious. So I wanted to make sure that you were aware of these, and that we definitely do address these in my program. Yeah, I do, of course, walk through the A to Z in the membership program. You get you get my holistic background of over 30 years and my 18 years of autism research. And I've done my very best to take what is essential in getting the optimum results and put them in a step-by-step roadmap to follow one at a time, so you don't get overwhelmed or confused with what to do next. But I'm also here to educate you, because you are the key to your child's success and how well they they do and how, and not that it's your fault if they're not getting better yet, because you just haven't had the right protocol, you haven't had the right roadmap, you haven't known how to work a roadmap, you haven't had the right guidance and support. And these are all things I offer you in my membership program, because I wanted to make this journey simpler for you, clearer, and help you get the support you need. And so this is what we address is, of course, all of the diet and detoxification needs, and then all of the, clearing the co-infections and the other things that cause their issues with speech, sleep, ability to focus and learn, staying calm and relaxed instead of, some kids have had violent episodes, and then I've helped their parents get work with them, and now they're like, their parents are saying they're so calm now. This is really important to understand. This can happen. So I work through all of these things, but I also give you other tools for additional educational resources to have in your tool belt. I have a whole page where I teach you about muscle testing. What it does, it's a muscle response that we have that tells us if our body accepts a food or a supplement at that time, and what the quantity of food is acceptable or not, and what dosage is needed. And that is really important. Until you get really familiar and comfortable with muscle testing, I always say start at the very, very smallest, lowest dosage. And for some things, and I give you the guidelines right next to the short video and about that product, and the usage guidelines are all there on the page for you. And the direct link to purchase, and only what you need when you need it along the way on your child's timeline. So there's no hurrying up. And right there, you can learn, some of them are just one drop a day for the first few days. It's that low because our kids are so sensitive. So you have all of this education and all this guidance, but I also give you all of these tips for sensory and calming, and being able to work with those naturally and safely, some things you can do for yourself as well as your child. Um, I give you a whole detoxification page with short videos on assistance on things that can assist detoxification as you're working with the supplements and other things like that. There's liver massage, there's lymphatic massage, and drainage. Other things to know that are very important that can be very helpful for assisting detoxification. And again, that comes from my 30 years of background, that I have to share these things with you. I have also immense diet knowledge, so you get everything you could need on diet. I pretty much cover everything that you could want or need. And when somebody says, "Oh, I've done that before," no, because not only have I found that most people's detoxification pathways weren't set up properly, but then the herbals and the elixirs that we use for some of the detoxification processes in the body, and the co-infections and other things like that, uh, there are things that I've never ever found that work as effectively. And I've tried a lot of things out there. I went through a decade of it, trying trial and error with my own son, and spent a lot of money and found what doesn't work and weeded out what doesn't. And I give you only what does. And that alone can save you so much time and money, because there are a lot of herbal supplements on the market, right? Of course, or at the health food store, but they're not the same. And you can need to use more of that product because it's not as concentrated. So it ends up being more expensive, or it's not as effective. Especially herbs need to be standardized. They need to be organic. The process that they are extracted from needs to be really, really effective. So you're keeping the most of the properties of that herb and what it can do for you in it while it's being extracted, to put it into a tincture. There's a lot to this. It's not just, oh, we did some herbs and we did some detoxification and we tried diet for a while. It really didn't work. It is not the same. We are very, very thorough here with the best of the best. And so the membership program is, as you know, now open, but it's only open until tomorrow, until Wednesday. Okay, so make sure that you get it at this special event price too, right now, that we're offering it to you for, before that expires. The link to go learn even more about the program, what all you get in it, and to join is naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. It's right here at the bottom of this video. And on that page, you can also hear from many members and their testimonials. And I was to interview Nanti yesterday, and we had some cross miscommunication, so she didn't make it, but she will be here tomorrow, Wednesday, at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. I'll be here with Nanti interviewing her, and you can hear from her. She was a member who was in the program for a couple of years, and she had immense success with her son. And when I asked her if she was willing to come on and share, she said, absolutely. If it helps other parents and it can inspire them and it really can help anybody in any way, I am more than happy to come on and share my story. And this is what it's about, people helping people. She wants to show you and tell you how much it can help, because how much it helped her child, so that you can know how much it can help you, to inspire you and help you, to motivate you to take action and join the program, because she has seen how much it worked even after she had spent a lot of time, a lot of money with various practitioners, various therapists, and not gotten any results with her son. And I believe he was 9 when she found my program. And he today is independent where he wasn't before. He's calm and relaxed where he used to be filled with anxiety. And she's going to share with you tomorrow all of her story. But on the page at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, with the link to join at the special event price, on that page are also some testimonials in text and in video from some members who share with you what has transpired, how their child has transformed from being in this membership program. And I want you to hear it from them, because I think it can be more powerful from hearing it from them directly rather than me telling you about it. So many of them just want to help others in our community, other parents of children with autism, because we all know what it's like, and how we want to let you know it can be so much better. So you can go to that page and listen there. And when you click on the link to join, it's a very, very simple. You should fill out a very short form. You pick the payment option that works best for your lifestyle. Then you click on it, you submit, and within 5 minutes, you'll have an email from me in your inbox with your privacy protected login details into our private membership site. And then you log in, and the email also give you quick 1, 2, 3 steps on how to get started. So within 5 minutes, you can get started, and you have access to the entire program right away. And I do this because everybody moves forward at a different pace. Now, to keep it simple, you're going to see a quick guide to getting started highlighted in bright pink letters at the bottom of the introduction page and again at the bottom of the supplements page. And I only want you to follow those steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order of the sequence they're in on the roadmap. You don't need to buy all the supplements up front. You only need to buy what you're going to be able to use now. You're going to have it shipped to you. The link is there to directly have it shipped to your door, and then you start with it at the lowest dosage. And when your child's doing well on it, then you can add in the next thing. Until you learn muscle testing, just let symptoms be your guide. Keep it simple. You just follow the sequence of the roadmap as it's laid out for you. I know you worry about confusion. Will I be able to do this? Will it be the same as other things, which I already covered? It's not. It is very unique, and it has immense success. But it also is meant to give you the clarity, because I know that you've been living a life of confusion and overwhelm and not getting the support that you needed. So I definitely want to make sure that you are getting that support now. And I give that to you in this program. We have a monthly live call where you can ask questions. The whole community comes together, so you can even see where other parents who are further along the road, how their questions, and then new people as well. I'm doing a bonus call next Monday for the new members. If you join, you must join now, for the new members to be on that call to help just keep you, again, feeling confident with beginning the program, even though it's laid out in a step-by-step guide for you. But the big bonus, I think, really is that there's a forum inside the membership site. And you can ask me your questions 24/7, any day of the week. You have access online to the program. All you need is Wi-Fi. You can do it from a phone, a laptop, anything, the program. And it doesn't take much. It's basically you learn about one thing, You purchase that supplement and you begin implementing it. You watch your child for symptoms, and then you can go learn from some of the detoxification and muscle testing and sensory and calming pages as well on your timeline. But you're going to move forward according to your child's symptoms. And so some kids are able to move forward more quickly than others. So I just want you to have access to everything. So when your child's able to move forward, you don't feel like you have to wait for anything. You can go ahead and continue to move forward. So again, it's just done on your timeline. Keep it simple. It's hard sometimes when we've been in a lot of confusion for a lot of years and complication and chaos. And we, again, back to that mindset piece, we get kind of used to that. Like that's how it has to be. Or if we let go or slow down, we're somehow losing control and our kids aren't going to get better. And sometimes people get eager and they try to jump around or do too much at once and it backfires. It's too much too quickly and they get confused. Where do I go next? I'm like, well, follow the sequence of the program. That's all you need to do. One, two, three, four, five, just on your child's timeline when they're ready to move forward. If you jump around, you'll confuse yourself and it's not as effective. And you don't want to throw your child into a die off reaction. You want to just follow the sequence. Keep it simple. And again, back to that mindset, make sure that you do keep it simple along this path. If you have any questions, please ask me now. I want to make sure that you don't have any reservations about joining the membership program now while it is open and it is a very, very exclusive price right now. So if something is holding you back, got you on the fence at all, please let me know what it is and how I can help you move through it because I want to make sure that you understand. And maybe I did already answer your question here. The timeline, the lifetime. Yeah, you do it on your child's timeline. There's no hurrying up. There's no, this is where slow is actually good. Um, some people ask about affordability. You only purchase the supplements as you need them along the way. Autism recovery takes about, we say roughly about 4 years, right? When you're on the right protocol. So you're just going to do it one thing at a time. And that's where you don't want to try to push and hurry up too much. Hi, Tom. You said, where in the program can I see what supplements to discontinue that my child is currently on? So, so on the introduction page, and I think it's on the introduction page and the supplement page, or both. But there's a PDF guide that says new to the program, but already on supplements, where to begin. And so that PDF guide goes over what supplement, like if your child's already on a particular type of one of the supplements we have in the program, but it's another brand, and a lot of those other brands are not really good. And so what I'll usually say is if your child's doing okay on it and you've paid money for it, right? Or they're doing okay on it, um, then then I would say to continue and finish it up. And then when you finish that product or get to the point where you need to replenish, then you will purchase that type of supplement that I have in the program because I know of its bioavailability, its highest quality, its effectiveness, its sensitivity for our kids with autism. So that's kind of how we went through when you're already on things, because there are many people who come in who've been on the journey, like I've said, for some of them for 20 years. And people write in all the time, I've been on gluten-free, casein-free, and we've done a little detoxification. It's just not enough, and it's not thorough enough. And there's much more to diet, as you're seeing now as well, that on the diet page, there is an immense amount of knowledge to know, not to overwhelm you. It is simply to help educate you. Because again, I am so much about that phrase that says, if you give a man to fish, you teach him for a day, or feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish or a mom to fish, you'll feed her for a lifetime. And it's so important on this journey to get educated. And I've got the education, and now I'm here to share it with you, educate you, what you're doing, why, how to get better results where you haven't before, and to guide you and support you on the journey. And the forum is there to ask any questions, like I said, 24/7. If for some reason you need help with troubleshooting something, or you don't have can't find the answer you're looking for, just ask me in the forum and I get back to you within 24 hours. So that is always available to you. There's no timeline. I know people who have programs that are far less, not A to Z, and they only will say, "Oh yeah, and I'll answer your questions for up to 8 weeks." And I think, well, 8 weeks? What happens after 8 weeks? you know, um, so this is I'm here for you. Um, so, Mohammed, if a child has candida, what to do because the kid has so much craving of sweets? He is crazy for sweets and salt, and we are using biocidin and black walnut. So, with biocidin is a good product. With black walnut, you're probably seeing some die-off reactions, and it's not effective enough. Candida was probably the hardest thing of all the things that I learned to work with for autism. It's a bear. It will those candida, especially when we put something, some type of an antifungal, especially if you're using something like diflucan, like some of the antifungal drugs or whatever. But a lot of these things, various tinctures that are used, there's so much stuff on the market saying fights candida. And it usually in the end can make it worse because all children with autism have candida overgrowth. You do not have to spend money on testing. I can tell you that is not right now that they have it. They just do. Their gut is inflamed with it, and those candida bore holes in the lining of the gut, causing something called leaky gut, which then allows undigested foods into their bloodstream, causing more autoimmune and allergy reactions to foods. They're not absorbing the nutrition from the foods they're eating. It is a big, big problem. And that inflammation inflames the brain, inflames the gut, which directly will inflame the brain. So, with candida, first, again, I have everybody start with supporting the detox pathways first, as before we move into what I call the fighter supplements, where we're directly targeting the pathogens a little further. And candida can hide in tissues when it sees something like an antifungal agent come in. So then we'll do a protocol, right? And then when we stop, it sees it's gone, and then it eventually comes out, and now they're stronger than they were before. So it causes, usually in the end, a worse infection. And so what I use is a special type of elixir that adds makes the body an inhospitable place for the candida. It causes like a frequency vibration that pulls them, keeps them brings them out of the tissues, and will start to kill them. And but a little bit gentler, just makes them leave as they're also dying. So there's not quite as much die off as other things can cause. And it can take up to a good year to really clear candida properly. So just be patient. But if it's safe and effective, and you don't have to worry about it being too harsh and something you should not use long term, which many of them definitely are out there on the market, many of them do not use long term. But what I use in the program is very, very effective for this. And again, it takes a lot of time. And the reason and the diet is also very important. And I know that your child is craving those sweets because the sugar, the candida actually thrives on sugar. It has to have it to survive. And so what we want to do is start withdrawing, those sugary sweets. If you don't have them in the house, your child can't find them. Now, if you're at first, especially, we want to give the candida just a little bit. So I'll say like like a handful of fruit, so that they're fed a little bit, and we keep our blood glucose levels balanced. So the brain's getting a little bit too. But we don't want to overdo the fruit. Even though it's fruit, it's still got a lot of sugar. So some is okay, too much is not, kind of thing. But the processed carbohydrates will turn to sugar in the body. So even if it's gluten-free and casein-free, which are very, very important to eliminate from the diet, but they also create opiates, so there is an addiction there. So it takes time to wean them off of them, and there's a lot of sugar in dairy as well. So once we can start reducing over time the sweets, That's why I always say we start with the toxin binders and then move on to supporting detox pathways. Because as you even start changing your child's diet and removing the processed carbohydrates and the sugars, and these other bad foods, then the candida, those bugs are craving that sugar, so they make the host body, your child's body, crave it. And maybe us as well, moms, we often pass candida in utero. It's very common. And so we want to be able to slowly remove the foods that those candida need so that we're starving them out. Now you will notice increased behaviors, usually from diet alone, even before you start detoxification, other things, because those bugs, those candida, start to die because we're not feeding them the foods that they need to thrive on anymore. And when that happens, they start to die, hence the term die off. And this is what we want. It's good. But if it goes too fast, or mostly if we don't have some good toxin binders in place and we're not strengthening those detox pathways, things are going to get way worse. You'll notice them, they'll go into fits. Usually after, there'll be a few days or so where it'll be much, much worse. And then it'll start calming down a little bit, but you've got to get through that and you've got to have the toxin binders in place. And then you've got to start strengthening those detox pathways, because it will make a difference to how much easier it is for your child and for you as you start doing this. But you do want to get rid of those sweets. And like I said, you don't want to be doing, there should be no food dyes and no high fructose corn syrup and no bad, white sugars anyway, right? Because those are all really just bad and inflammatory. But you can, like I said, there's fruit. Berries are a better choice because they actually have fiber in them naturally. So when we eat them, the fiber helps absorb some of the sugar, and it slows the absorption down of the body because of the fiber. This slows the absorption of the sugar. So that's why it's better to do that. We should never be drinking fruit juice, because juice itself has usually had the pulp removed, and either way, if it does have some pulp or in it, it's got it's like basically straight sugary water. It's straight juice, which is like there's nothing that the body has to masticate or digest. It's just like putting straight sugar into the body almost. So juice should really be eliminated. It can be used in very, very small amounts. Like I tell my members in the program, like if their child, like a lot of the things are tasteless. Like a lot of the elixirs look and taste like water. Some of them have a slight taste. One mom said her son noticed a taste and didn't want it. And I said, then it's okay if he won't take it in water, put it in a tiny bit of juice and give it to him that way. Just don't give a lot of juice, and don't make it a habit, giving him a lot of juice ever. Just use it to give a supplement. Otherwise, you got to get away from juice. So these are some good things to know. It can happen, and it does take time. But if you have the right things, the right things to do, then you can definitely get on top of this and help heal your child's gut, help get rid of that bad bacteria that is thriving in their body and causing, again, more of that leaky gut, which is directly causing issues with their brain and behaviors, irritability, extreme fatigue, sleep issues, motor coordination and clumsiness issues. When mom wrote me, and this is common too, it was like her son was drunk. And I said, Candida releases a type of alcohol called acetaldehyde. So it's an alcohol that is actually far more dangerous than even alcohol, like an alcoholic beverage that you might drink. It's an alcohol released in the system. So it can make us really spacey, makes people very irritable, trouble sleeping again, causes stress on the internal body and the adrenal glands. So, these are all, again, domino effects of things that are going on. And it's why I always say you want to do A to Z. You don't want to only just work with diet and a little bit of detoxification or a little bit of gut, because there are other things that are snowballing, like our bodies in the day 5 event. And again, if anybody wants to catch any of the replays of my 5-day autism recovery action plan event that I did last week, We have put a replay page up for you that will expire tomorrow with the members link. So go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/replay if you want to rewatch any of those videos. And I explain some more of these things in detail. And in day 5, I wrap it all, tie it all together, how it all works together. And then I talk a little bit more about in depth about what you get in the membership program. So that's all for in day 5. If you don't have time to watch all of the videos, that would probably be the one to do. So these things are important to know. I talked in day 3 about stage 2, which is natural, safe, heavy metal detoxification. Now, heavy metals, especially mercury, inhibit the body's natural ability to fight off excess candida. So if we have um, mercury in the body, not only does it cause rage and anger issues and just do so much detriment to the neurological system in the brain, but it also again prevents the body from being able to fight candida properly. So it's another piece as we're working forward, again, when it's time on the timeline and the roadmap, where we want to make sure that we are covering the heavy metal toxicity as well, so that there isn't something inhibiting more more of the body's ability to fight off that candida. But the elixirs I use are very, very effective. And like I said, candida can take time, 6 months up to 12 months sometimes, to really get into balance. You're balancing it and getting better along the way for sure, but it can take some time. That's why, people think, well, how about I just do something for a couple of weeks? No, that's not going to work. And that's again what some of these the glyflucin, some of the drugs, they put on it for a short period of time and then think, okay, well, we took care of it. But then, of course, you notice it comes back, right? And it comes back with a vengeance. It can come back worse. It gets stronger and stronger. We don't want that to happen. So these are some things that are just really, really important to know and to be educated about. So hopefully that is some new information for you that can help guide you. And I hope that you are choosing to join the membership program, because it is bar none the most effective way that I can help you get the absolute best results for your child. Because just okay is not good enough. We want to transform their life to being a one that they can live a happier, a healthier life, a calmer life, a more productive life, hopefully have some independence someday, to possibly have their own job, to be able to make their own decisions for themselves. Self-care for some is so important, and to know that they are able to live to their full potential and can give their gifts to the world that they have, because we know they have them. They're brilliant, brilliant people. And it doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to have the chance to share those with the world. But there are so many toxins and chemicals and infections and things in the way of their body and their brain that is causing so much inflammation, that is damaging their brain, which is reversible if you know the right things to do, which is damaging their brain currently and preventing them from being able to carry out tasks that they know that they should be able to do and want to do and try to, but can't. And, also, again, because they're so brilliant, being able to share their gifts with the world is very important. And a lot of them today are not able to do that. So again, it's the most effective way that I can absolutely help you in the program is with the membership program. So please, again, while it's open, go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. Learn what it has to give you. We'll go over that again in day 5 on the replay page if you want to look at that again. But it also has testimonials, so you can hear from other parents for your own inspiration and uplifting and really to see what's possible from the program. For parents too who have tried many things and thought they had done it before and then realized that what they were doing was incomplete and ineffective. So that's where the program makes the unique difference. And we are A to Z. So you can click on the link to join there. Again, that link will expire tomorrow. So make sure by the end of Wednesday that you have joined, or that that event pricing and that event link will expire. And I don't want anybody to wish they had gotten in and not done it. So anything we can do to help get you off the fence. So I came here to answer questions for you. I will be interviewing a member tomorrow at the same time, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, right here as well. Same thing, Facebook and YouTube on my pages. And so Nanti's going to be talking about her experience, so that might be helpful for you as well. Um, Nana, you're watching from Africa, from Ghana. Wow, welcome, Nana. My very first member was in Africa 8 years ago. Since then, I've had uh, almost 2,000 people go through the program. And it's had immense success and from all areas of the world. And that's why I love that it's online. I've had people write me and say, "I wanna do your program, but where do you live? I don't know if I can get there." I'm like, "You don't have to get to where I live. You could It has nothing to do with that. I can support you daily in the program, from the membership site, and so you can do it from anywhere in the world. It's on your timeline 24/7, so, time doesn't matter, time of day doesn't matter. If it's easiest for you to look at the member site for 30 minutes after your kids go to bed at night, or 30 minutes or 20 minutes before they wake up in the morning, or on your lunch break on your phone, easy access. And people are it's in over 40 countries, and it's probably actually over 50, could even be over 60 now. I haven't counted. It's in years, in several years actually. So we should look at that. But I know I can say for a fact that it's in over 40 countries successfully being utilized. So yeah, I actually get quite a few people in Africa. It's interesting. Um, all over Europe, the UK, Dubai, of course, Canada, Australia, the US, they're everywhere. So it's pretty exciting. And Leah's from Alaska. Welcome. Boy, I bet it's beautiful there. Getting to be springtime yet? There it is. Might have a little snow on the ground, but yeah, I know it is. It's exciting that I'm in California. So I'm on Pacific time, where I know there are people in Europe watching this right now, and it's nighttime. They're getting ready to go to bed, and I've just woken up. That's why I say in the forum that, if you write me in the forum, I'll get back to you within 24 hours, because you might be somewhere where I'm going to bed at night, or it's in the middle of my night and I'm sound asleep when you write me and it's your daytime. So we have that, the time change thing. So Leah, yes, finally, but a bit of snow still hanging out. Yeah, I bet. I have not yet gone to Alaska. It is on my list though, for sure, because I love nature and beauty, and and I love to hike and things like that. The nature is so important for our kids too. We've got to get our kids outside more, and they should be in the earth, off of cement. This is really, really important. The outdoors. So many kids are deficient in vitamin D3, and that, especially in the wintertime. This is very, very common with a lot of people, but especially children like with autism, or the elderly. Also, they're deficient in vitamin D3, and you can start that now at any time, but it helps naturally to fight viruses, which kids with autism have. And we work with them, we target them more directly and more deeply later on in the program. But anybody right now should make sure that they're getting their children on vitamin D3, and it should have the 3 after the D. That's the most bioabsorbable form, and you want to take it with food because it's a fat soluble vitamin. See, these are the things too you want to know. Some things are best taken with food, and some best without, for best absorption. So, but vitamin D3 is really important to make sure that we are on. I take it every day, that we are on ourselves. Our kids take it. I make sure my kids take it as well. So, especially in the wintertime, we're not getting as much sun on our skin because we're all covered up by clothing. And that's how we, in the summertime, we have more skin exposure to the sun, and the sun helps us build vitamin D through our skin. But even in the summer, a lot of the time we might not be getting quite enough. So we gauge how much we need by the time of year, but In the winter, I take 5,000 IU a day as an adult, and that's really important to make sure that you keep your levels up and our kids have plenty, so that because it's very, very, like I said, antiviral, the best flu fighter. Non-toxic, of course. There are no toxins, no heavy metals, no other chemicals or anything in there. It's just something our bodies really need and is very important for us. So, yeah. Uh, Lots of melting snow, so happy. Yeah, I bet. Anyway, yeah, so D3 is very important to know about as well. Okay, so it looks like I've answered all the questions, so I'll end here for now. Like I said, tomorrow at the same time, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube, streaming to both right now, live. I will also tomorrow have Nanti on. We have now had a are connected in our communication, and she has confirmed she will be here tomorrow, Wednesday. So tune in for that live to listen to her as well. But if we can answer any more of your questions, anything that is keeping you hesitant, there are no silly questions, anything. If some people couldn't be here live right now to ask those questions, and if you're still having any about joining the program, we want you to be able to join comfortably, so with confidence. So if you have any more questions, please write to support@naturallyrecoveringautism.com, and we're happy to answer your questions. Remember that the membership program link that we have up right now for the event will expire tomorrow, Wednesday night. So make sure you go and join the program before then. Naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, because I really want to help you get the absolute best for your results you can for your child and help them live to their full potential. And bar none, the membership program is the absolute best way that I can help you do that. And it's why I developed it. I developed it for you. And it has helped so many parents worldwide. And it's very rewarding for me. And the greatest thing I can see is when parents are writing and telling me about the positive changes they're seeing in their child and how much, happier and calmer they are and how much better they're doing. It's worth it every single minute of every day. So I'm happy to be here to help you on this journey. Please join the membership program now, again, before the link expires tomorrow. And I truly look forward to helping you in the program and the best way that I can, and supporting you on this journey to get the results that you've been looking for your child. So, anyway, look forward to that. And I guess I'll see you on the inside. Take care.